I was in the kitchen drying dishes when I heard something I'll never forget. My mom was on the phone in the next room, talking in that fake sweet voice she uses with her friends. She said, "Don't worry about Maya. She's just someone we hired to help around here." For a second, I couldn't breathe. My hands froze, dish towel dripping water on the floor. I stood there, stunned. She was talking about me. I'm her daughter, not some stranger. I've spent my whole life helping this family, doing everything they asked, and she spoke about me like I was nobody. I'm the oldest of 5 sisters, and I've always been the one holding everything together. I changed more diapers than my mom did, cooked more meals, and picked up the pieces when things fell apart. But none of that mattered to her, not anymore. That day, she was too focused on Clara, my 10-year-old sister, and her upcoming violin recital. It could be her big break, Mom said into the phone. Clara was always the star. She had private music lessons, fancy clothes, and everyone's attention. I worked part-time to help pay the bills while she lived like a princess. I gave up piano lessons when I was 12 so Clara could start violin. Mom had said, "You're the big sister. You understand." I did understand. I always did. I understood when I had to stay home and babysit, when I had to say no to school trips, and when nobody asked how I was doing. But hearing her call me just someone we hired, that was new. That hurt in a way I didn't expect. As I stood there listening to the soft sound of Clara practicing upstairs, the words echoed in my head. I knew something had to change. I walked to my room and opened the drawer where I hid things that mattered. There, under my socks, was a letter I'd been too scared to show anyone. It was from State University. They'd accepted me. I'd been saving for years, working babysitting jobs and weekend shifts. It wasn't much, but it was mine. I'd never told my parents. They wouldn't care. In their eyes, my job was to support the family, not have dreams of my own. I looked at the letter, then at my phone. There was one contact I'd never dared to call, my grandmother, Eleanor. I had never met Eleanor. Mom cut her out of our lives before I was born. She always said Grandma was selfish, cold, and dangerous. But once, at a family funeral, my aunt whispered her number into my hand. "Just in case," she said. That night, I found it in an old notebook and sent a message. "Hi, Grandma Eleanor. This is Maya. I know we've never met, but I need someone to talk to." I didn't expect her to answer. But she did, almost right away. Her words were kind, curious, and for the first time in years, I felt seen. We talked every night after that, quietly, after everyone had gone to bed. She listened like no one else ever had. She asked about school, music, my dreams. I told her everything. After a few days, she asked me to meet her. "Let's have breakfast downtown," she said. "There's a cafe I like. You'll be safe there." I told Mom I was working extra hours. She didn't even ask where or why. When I got to the cafe, I saw Eleanor right away, tall, proud, in a deep blue blazer. She smiled when she saw me. "You look like her," she said, "but softer." We sat down and talked for hours. She wanted to hear everything. I told her about the acceptance letter. She smiled, almost like she already knew. "I made a few calls," she said. "You have a full scholarship now." I almost dropped my glass. "Why would you do that?" I asked. She looked serious. "Because I saw this coming. I saw how your mother treats you, and I wanted you to have a choice." She handed me an envelope, my name on it in old handwriting. Inside was a trust fund she'd set up for me when I was born. I couldn't believe it. Then something I didn't expect happened. Olivia, my 15-year-old sister, walked into the cafe. She saw me and froze. "I followed you," she admitted. "I knew something was wrong." She looked at Eleanor. "Are you our grandma?" Eleanor nodded, smiling gently. Yes, and your artwork is beautiful, by the way. Olivia flushed. They didn't even come to my art show, she said. My phone buzzed again. It was Mom. You're ruining Clara's big day. Come home now. Olivia read the message and looked at me. I'm not going home. I want to stay with you. For the first time, I didn't feel alone. That night, something inside me shifted. I wasn't just going to survive anymore. I was going to live. But going back home was like walking into a trap. My acceptance letter was on the kitchen counter, torn open. Mom stood at the window, stiff as stone. Dad was worse. When were you going to tell us? He asked, voice cold. I was waiting for the right time, I said. Right time? He yelled. You're abandoning us. Clara stood behind them, dressed for her recital. You promised to help me practice, she whispered. Mom pulled her close. Maya knows her place, she said. No, I said, voice shaking. I don't. Not anymore. Dad slammed the counter with his fist. You will not speak to your sister that way. I pulled out my phone and hit play. Mom's voice filled the room. She's just someone we hired to help. Her face turned white. You recorded me? I didn't have to, I said. I remember every word. Clara stared at me like she didn't know me. Olivia and Sophia stepped into the room. She's right, Olivia said. We all know it. Mom's eyes narrowed. This is because of Eleanor, isn't it? I just nodded. I wasn't scared anymore. I know what you did to Aunt Catherine, I said. I know why you cut Grandma off. Dad looked shocked. Mom looked furious. You don't understand, she whispered. No, I said. You don't. I'm not asking for permission anymore. Dad's voice dropped low. If you leave, don't come back. I looked at my sisters, then back at him. You call this a family? I said. I'm not abandoning them. I'm showing them how to break free. I picked up my bag from behind the couch. Clara's voice cracked behind me. Don't go. I turned around. When you're ready to be real, you'll find me. That night, I moved in with Eleanor. Life was quiet at first. School was harder than I thought. My dorm felt small and cold. Home was still silent, except for secret messages from Olivia and Sophia. Then Clara stopped playing violin. Olivia called me one night. She says it feels wrong without you. Later, I got a message from Clara herself. I can't fix the middle part. You're the only one who knows how. I didn't respond at first, but then Eleanor showed up at my dorm. Your mother came to see me, she said. She's trying to take everything back. Mom was using Dad's illness to pressure the school board into removing the scholarship program Eleanor had started. Olivia texted again. Clara locked herself in the bathroom. She won't talk. I felt the old part of me rise, the one who always fixed everything. Eleanor saw it in my face. You don't have to be their savior anymore, she said. But if you go, do it for yourself. I bought a ticket to Clara's recital the next morning. Not because I had to, because I wanted to see for myself if she was still lost, or if she could find her way back. I slipped into the back row. The lights were dim. Clara stood on stage, perfect posture, perfect dress, but her playing was cold, mechanical. Then I saw why. Mom was standing in the wings, mouthing the notes like she owned them. After the performance, Olivia found me. Come with me, she whispered. In the green room, I heard Mom yelling at Clara. That middle part was sloppy. Clara stared at the floor. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't win awards, Mom snapped. Do you want to end up like Maya? I stepped into the room. You mean independent? Everyone turned to look at me. A man stepped in behind me. Miss Harrington, he said. I'm from the Juilliard committee. I was hoping to speak with Maya. Mom blinked. She's not Clara's teacher. Actually, Olivia said, she's the reason Clara plays with feeling now. Clara's eyes filled with tears. Then Eleanor walked in. Maya's on the board now, she said. Things are changing. Mom was speechless. Clara stood up slowly. I don't want to go to Juilliard, she said. I don't want to play anymore, not like this. She looked at me. I want to be real. That day, I saw her clearly, not as my sister, but as herself. A year later, Clara and I stood in Eleanor's garden. Eleanor had passed away peacefully, leaving everything to me, with one condition. I had to use it to help families heal. And I did. Clara was planting roses, her hands dirty, her smile real. Do you ever miss it? I asked. She thought for a moment. Sometimes, but I like writing songs now. On guitar, I smiled. You don't need my permission. She nodded. But I want your opinion, sister to sister. Behind us, Olivia and Sophia were arguing about college. The house was loud, messy, and full of life. Finally, we were free.